Hello, my name is Geraldine Begg and I'm the Technology Enabled Care and Housing Programme Coordinator. So during the course of this short webinar, what I hope to do is to be able to give you a whistle-stop tour of the wide variety of ways that digital technology can be used to support people's health, care and well-being, whether that's by controlling the environment in their home, getting help in an emergency, staying connected, managing long-term conditions. The list is endless. But what I hope to do is put it all in the context of what your role could be as a digital champion and provide you some resources, a little bit of food for thought, so that you can start thinking about some of those conversations that you're having with people and thinking, I might suggest that they want to have a look at this. So it may be that you're supporting people to do video calls and you might want to think about, okay, you can video call with friends and family, but might there be other ways you could do that? When you're learning to surf the net, based on the conversations that we've had, here are some of the websites that might actually be interesting to you because it'll help you know what's on in your community so that you can get out a bit more, or maybe give you some more ideas about devices that could be of help to you. So let's get started. Telecare refers to the range of equipment and sensors that can raise an alarm if someone needs help when they're at home or in the garden, as a general rule. Telecare is provided to people who are vulnerable either due to age or a long-term condition or a disability. The most familiar form of telecare that you will maybe be familiar with is a little red button that people wear either around their wrist or their neck that, once pressed, opens a two-way communication with somebody who's in a community alarm centre. And that person at the other end of the phone can determine what support is most appropriate based on the situation. So that could be calling the emergency services or sending out a responder service made up of trained care workers, depending on what part of Scotland, or phoning a family member or a trusted neighbour. There really is a wide range of telecare, anything from personal sensors, so that can be used to identify if somebody has a fall or might leave the house and be at risk to themselves. Environmental sensors, so the person may be forgetful and as a result there may be a pan left on the stove, for example, or taps left on. So there's a whole range of smoke alarms and flood detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. All of these just look like the standard kind that you can buy in a shop. However, they all link to that alarm receiving centre so that the person can receive support quicker. So this telecare is provided by health and social care partnerships as a general rule, and there tends to be a small weekly cost for the service. It used to be that people had to have an active phone line to be able to get telecare. However, that's changing, and there's quite a number of alarm systems that now come with a SIM. So as part of your work as a digital champion, no doubt you'll be having conversations with the person where other little bits of information about their life are shared. And you might start to identify, oh, that sounds a bit of a risk, either for the person or for somebody that they care for. Now, you don't need to know about all the different types of telecare. Like I've already said, HSC provides, so that's the Health and Social Care Partnerships, and they will carry out any assessment. But there would be no harm in you saying that you're aware that there's a thing called Telecare, that you've heard that a lot of people have found that it provides peace of mind. It reduces the risk of any further harm by having a nice, appropriate, timely response. It provides reassurance to carers, and it helps people to live independently at home for longer. So you might suggest that they go and have a quick look at the telecare pages on NHS Inform to decide for themselves if this might be something worth looking into a bit further. And on those pages, you'll find that there's a little video that gives a brief description of Telecare. Also, there's a Telecare self-check tool. So this is 6 questions, 12 depending on some of the responses, and it would give the person a clear indication whether Telecare may benefit them. No personal information is shared. So you really could save a life by sharing this kind of information. Telehealth is the overarching term used when you access health services remotely using digital technology. So using a tablet or a PC or a smartphone. There's even certain types of telehealth that you can access using an old Nokia phone, but we'll come on to that. The use of telehealth has been growing over the years in Scotland, but never so quickly as during COVID, because that opportunity to be able to do things digitally and remotely, needless to say, reduces the spread and the risk of infection. And of course, even when COVID's not around, we have the flu season and all these kinds of things. So, it's of great benefit. But like I say, it's been being used increasingly, and patients who've used it have come away with a whole load of benefits that they have felt. So for example, it reduces the amount of time away from work or school or home. It's easier to attend if you usually need someone to take you to appointments, to be able to do that in the comfort of your own home. And of course, it's much better for the environment. So the connections that are used in these platforms are secure, so patients can be confident that the personal information won't be compromised. And at the minute, a wide range of primary and secondary health services, and I understand some social care services, are now scaling up their use of telehealth services, like only where appropriate. It's just another thing within the toolkit. But today we'll take a quick look at 2 types of telehealth. We'll look at NHS Near Me, and we'll look at Florence, and how you can support people to be ready to take advantage of the benefits that each of them offer. Many of you will already be familiar with NHS Near Me. In fact, you might well have used it. But if you are speaking to people about making video calls, it's definitely a good idea to be letting people know that more and more health professionals are offering this as an option. So that might be a GP practice, a hospital, mental health services. All of them are rapidly increasing their use of Near Me. Not all consultations will be appropriate for it, and maybe not everybody will feel confident and fancy the idea of it, but the more familiar they become, the more chance there is that they might like to take this opportunity and reap some of the benefits. One very useful benefit is the ability to bring others in on the call. So carers, family, specialists, maybe an interpreter if the person is hearing impaired. These are the kinds of benefits that people spoke about in the recent Near Me public evaluation. So going back to your role, making people aware that this might be an option, or if it's not an option at the minute, it could become an option. Directing them to the Near Me website that you'll see on the screen here. Possibly supporting them to carry out a test call. So really building confidence and building understanding would be great. Florence, or Flow for short, has been used in Scotland for a number of years now. Flow is a secure text messaging system designed to support people to better understand and manage their health conditions. It can be used in a number of ways. It can be used to help diagnose a condition and to self-manage. In the example that we've got here, we're looking at blood pressure. In advance of somebody starting to use Florence, they would have a consultation at their practice, and it would be agreed whether Florence was appropriate or not for that person. The person would be given a blood pressure monitor, and reminders would then be sent to that person to ask to send in their blood pressure readings. Those readings would then be sent securely to the practice where they could be monitored. This is a great system. People have said that it's helped diagnose far quicker. It's been far more convenient, and carers have said that they really appreciate texting in a reading rather than trying to get a relative to an appointment. Let's face it, that alone could put your blood pressure through the roof. So again, what's your role in this? Well, it can be just to help raise awareness and understanding of the benefits of this kind of system, and build in confidence in texting and confidence in knowing that it's secure. Not all GP practices use it. The more the people ask for it, I'm sure the more that it will be used. Another aspect of technology-enabled care is just getting access to information about health and well-being online. So there's a few various different things here. I strongly encourage you just to go online, have a bit of a look at them. They're all trusted sites. NHS Inform, wide range of information from all kinds of different conditions. There's self-help guides, advice on healthy living. Alice, a local information directory, aims at increasing the availability of health and well-being information for people, and has a wide range of community information. Then we have sites like Alzheimer's Scotland, again, huge array of information, but also very useful page on products that can be of help to somebody who has dementia. Then we have things like Ask Sarah that will provide nice information based on guided questions about just everyday bits and pieces that can support somebody to live life a bit easier. So if you're getting people familiar with using websites and doing searches and browsing, again, why not think about some of these things, especially if somebody's saying that they're living with a long-term condition, they're finding it difficult to get out and about, they don't know what's on within their community, or maybe they're saying that they're having difficulty around the house. I'm not suggesting for 1 second that we don't encourage referrals to health and social care partnerships for anybody who's having difficulties, but here's ways that people could start having a look into things for themselves as well. There's also a huge range of devices that are available from the high street. Alzheimer's Scotland has recently launched About Digital and Me, or ADAM for short. It's an AI-driven website, and it helps people to find technology products matched to their needs. So it's based on unbiased, trusted recommendations, with all the products having been tried and tested by people living with experience of dementia. And of course, there's a wide range of apps. There's apps that will support people based on certain conditions. I've just put in a very small range here. Ones that can help people overcome challenges from a visual impairment, forums and apps to support people with mental health, Purple Alert, community-based app to support people who have dementia, who maybe go missing. I've also put in BorrowBox and Move It because it really is important to be able to think about some of the things that you can access that make life worth living. So library services of any number of resources, and the apps that your own particular library uses may vary, but I know BorrowBox is one of them. And finally, can't really do this without mentioning Test and Protect. So encouraging anybody to download this free app. Just check what it's compatible with. It's iPhone 6S and above, and Android 6 and above. So thank you very much. It's a whistle-stop tour, and it really is just a very small selection of the huge range of ways that digital technology can be used to support health and well-being.